Okay, this video is for the Arduino class 28. The assignment was to use the onboard 12 by 8 metrics as kind of a room with a LED that moved around and bounced off of, let's say, I'll call them the four walls. So to start, I had to include the library and then define the object. And then I set some variables. I set the X and Y position, or the row and column position. I started at position 3 and 2. And then you have to define a variable to define the move. And I'm moving it at a 45-degree angle, which is 1 to the right and 1 down. And then I set a delay time, which the shorter or the smaller the number, the faster the ball moves. The higher the number, the slower the ball moves. And then I set the baud rate in case I needed to use the serial printer. And here I set up the matrix, the byte frame. And then scroll down here. In the setup, I started the serial printer in case I needed it. And then I started the matrix begin, and then we get down to the guts of it, and basically the way it took me a lot to figure out how to do this, to be honest with you. I had finally, in order to figure out the logic, I created a matrix in Microsoft Excel that I could doodle some little dots around, trying to do it manually, and then this is how I worked out all the math, or what the logic that I needed, and it took me probably an hour and a half to figure this out. But anyway, the way it works is that if the ball hits the outer limits of the matrix, then that's what the if statements are for. If X position is less than or equal to 0, or the X position is greater than or equal to 11, then E becomes a -1 instead of a +1, so it reverses direction. I did that for both the X and the Y, or the row and the column. And then down here, this is the setting the new position, the new X and Y positions. So if it's a positive number, it goes down. If it's a negative number, it goes up. If it's a positive number, it goes right. If it's a negative number, it goes left. And then I do the frame render for the new position, and then you can see the delay time. And then here I turn the LED off so it looks like it's moving, and it just repeats itself. There was no real circuit to do, but you can see the result. Let me turn the light off here so you can see maybe see the ball a little better, bouncing around. But I got it to work. Like I said, it took me a while not to write the program, but after figuring out the logic how to make it do this, and I'm sure there's probably a simpler way, but I'm trying to follow what we've been taught so far by Paul. Anyway, enjoy. This was a fun one to work on.